I don't answer questions.
Okay, I don't really know how to respond to that, sir.
You bastard.
Bastard.
You either fight me or you lose your teeth.
Find me up, use your teeth.
Captain Awesome.
Hello. How can I help you?
So I'm not sure if you guys have, I know you've had a lot of vehicle burglaries and things like that lately, but we had some pretty strange stuff happen a little bit ago with some gentlemen here in the neighborhood. So when they came by this way, I was standing here talking to the neighbor in the blue car. She had pulled up, and that car kind of drove by, looked a little weird. The three guys, obviously they weren't from here. And I said to her, I was like, they don't live here. That's kind of weird. So they went around the block, passed by her house, came back here while we were still standing here talking. And we weren't really sure what they were doing. They kind of went slow as they were going past. And then they drove down there and they pull up in front of her house. Now, you can look down the road. Their yard is super high. Their yard's super high. Her yard is not. Her yard is mowed, except for like right that little spot right there. So I was like, I think they're going to your house. And she's like, I don't know them. And I said, well, do you want me to shout? Like, hey, can we help you? And she said, yeah. So I said, hey, can we help you? And they all turned around. They had all three got out of the car, turned around, looked at me, looked at us, and then walked to her door anyway. And I was like, well, are you going to go down there? And she's like, should I? And I said, probably you should, but I'm not going to let you go by yourself. So I walked down there with her. I had scissors. I didn't have my firearm on me. And I had scissors in my pocket from cutting stuff. And so I was a little bit slower than her because she was in the car. But as they walked away from her door to her, they said, we just want to see if you want your lawn mowed. And she's like, no. I mean, her lawn was just mowed. And then I hear the other guy say, oh, look at this bitch walking up here all gangster and shit. And I was like, it's pretty weird. So you're in a small passenger car. You're all in street clothes. You're not in lawn mowing clothes. You have zero lawn equipment. And you went to the only house on the street that doesn't have a car at it, that doesn't need the lawn mowed, and bypassed all the other houses with the grass. And I didn't say anything, and she said, they asked me if I wanted the lawn mowed. And I was like, that's weird. Well, when they go back by, we're going to get their tag number because it didn't seem right from the go. And as I am turning, they went around the thing and they kind of came back just to where they could see that we had turned, and obviously we were going to get their tag number, and they floored it right there. And so probably trying to avoid that part. And as I'm typing it into my phone, that neighbor texts me and she's like, I don't know what this car's doing, but they're up to no good. When they had come by her house, she said that it was real strange. Like they were looking real hard. I don't know. So I don't know if that vehicle description might fit any of your car burglaries. I know it's a Friday night. The younger people have a lot of time on their hands this weekend.
Yeah.
I did download the videos and stuff just in case, just of the car. So in case it is relevant to something. They were not stopping at all of the houses. They weren't stopping at the houses with the tall grass. It was strange. And it was strange that they went to the only house that didn't have a car parked at it. But these guys went out. So I did get their tag number. She's got their tag number. She has a camera on the front door, but it doesn't record. It's just like by view only. So we don't have any, like face shots. I know they stopped at a neighbor's house. They did stop at one house down there. Also, didn't appear that there was anybody at that house at the time. I don't know if they have a camera or not. We sent a text to that neighbor to find out maybe if they have a camera. But only one guy got out at that house. So I don't really know. It was really strange. It was especially strange the way they floored it out of here as soon as they saw that we were going to get the tag. And they clearly were not here.
All right. So this is my area. I'll keep an eye out tonight. Okay. I'll be driving through, but there's not a whole lot I can do about that.
No, no doubt. I just wasn't sure if maybe it's going to fit a future crime description or a past crime description, but it did not seem right at all. So we just wanted to make sure that you knew about it. She's home by herself. She's super young. Nobody's going to be home with her for a little while. So, you know, she's got all the neighbors' numbers and everything. She's a little apprehensive about it, too, because it didn't sit right with her at all. But I mean, even for the other neighbors to notice that something seemed off about it, it was weird. So just, I don't know, it was a Nissan passenger car. I don't believe the windows were tinted. It didn't have fancy wheels. I'm not sure if they were without hubcaps or not, but they're dark. Like the wheel area is dark, so it's not like shiny wheels or anything like that. And it was 3 males. I'm not sure that they were definitely not white, but they were possibly Hispanic, possibly mixed. I'm not really sure. Like, you know, a little bit darker complected, but not super dark, you know, black complected. So, and they were clean cut hair, you know, not, you know, nothing notable about their hair, but they were, you know, tall, thin build, probably 16, maybe 20, 22, maybe 22 years old. So just, I don't know if that'll work for anything you guys got.
Yeah, I'll keep it in mind.
Okay.
And I'll definitely look around.
Great.
But I know you're on your property, but your firearm, it's still illegal to open carry in the state. So you got to conceal it. I'm a big firearms guy. I respect that you got it, but when you're out in the open.
In the state of Florida, you can open carry on your own property.
I get that, but it's still a perception to the people. So it's still a crime if you're out in the public and they can see it. There's no expectation of privacy when you're outside.
I've had this conversation with your chief already.
Okay, and I'm telling you that.
So why is it that when we call you for something else, okay?
I'm just saying, I'm trying to protect you from if something goes on future on. There's no expectation of privacy when you're out in the open, even if you're in your front yard. Now, if you're in your backyard fenced, you have expectation of privacy, you can do whatever the hell you want. But when you're out in the front yard and people can see it, I get you're still on your property, but perception is everything.
Not against the law to open carry on your property.
I'll double check it. I could be wrong. A case law or something could have very well came out. I'm not very caught up on case law. I've been gone for the last 2 weeks, so something could have came out, but
it's been that way since a while.
I'll double check, but you know, perception is everything. Say you got into an argument, then we can go from there. Because technically, if you would have had it when you got down there, and once you leave your property, it's you're open and carrying.
This isn't about me, number one.
I know. I'm
two,
just saying.
I would be concealed carrying if I was off my property. I'm on my property.
Okay.
So
I'm not here to argue it. I was just saying.
Okay.
I'm trying to help you out.
Okay. All
right. So I'm going to be throughout the night. We usually get our car burglaries around. They usually hit 3, 4-ish in the morning. I'm going to be in and out of here all night.
Okay.
I'll call it out so it is on the actual log books saying I was here. But I will keep an eye out throughout the other neighborhoods because more than likely they didn't come, you know, they're not, if they are casing the place, they're not just casing this one. They're going to go look at Misty Oaks, the other neighborhoods.
Right. I did provide the 28 to your dispatch, so I don't know if they ran it or not.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other questions?
No.
All right. And I'll double check the whole firearm thing, but I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah, I had in your department, your captain, your chief, and my attorney on that page.
Okay. I still don't like that you have a fucking gun out when I'm talking to you.
Hey guys, Eustis Police Department here today with Mr. Rights Crispy. And we got a call, and we're coming out here to talk about the incident with the police here and see what they have to say. Now that I've working on this story. Yeah, I was wondering if I could see a supervisor.
Yeah, if you pick up that phone right there to your right, that'll ring into dispatch. Just let them know that you need to see a road patrol supervisor and then someone will.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Toughest guy.
Excuse me? All right, I'm in the Eustis Police Department. I need to speak to a supervisor. It's in reference to an incident with one of the officers. My name is Lee. Awesome. AWESOME. Yeah, I want to make a complaint. I'm just in the lobby here. Yeah, 352-446-8145. That I'm complaining about? I do. It's Jordan Robeck. Thank you. Says he's going to pass it along and have him come meet with us.
Excuse me, miss? Can you help me, please? I'd like to do a records request, please.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Carpenter. Something I can do for you?
Yeah, I was trying to pull up the body cam here just now, but I came here to file a complaint on Officer Jordan Robicek.
Okay,
Roubicek. Do you know who that is?
I do.
Okay, yeah. He had responded to a lady that was making a report, and it was on her property. She was calling in a suspicious person. There was like a suspicious car that was driving around the neighborhood, and they had pulled into this young lady's house, and she was there alone. So she ended up calling for help, and this officer showed up, and he's standing outside of her house. They're taking the report, and he's not paying attention to her. What he's paying attention to is the fact that she's armed legally on her own property.
Okay.
And then he goes and he starts telling her that, it's illegal for her to open carry. He tells her that on her own property it's okay, but it has to be in a fenced-in backyard. And, just making up all kinds of really weird, crazy stuff. And then at the end of the body cam, after he's done talking with her, he gets into the police car, he shuts the door, and he's like, I still don't like it when you're talking to me with a gun on you, really upset, it seems, that a citizen was legally exercising their right that we have. So first and foremost, I definitely wanted to make a complaint on him and to make sure that he can get some training on the actual firearm laws, so that way when a citizen calls, he can do his job instead of worrying about what they're doing that's legal.
Right.
And then maybe, I don't know if there's any kind of, I know you guys have unions and different kind of healthcare systems, if you can get some kind of evaluation over what was so troubling to him that a citizen would have a firearm talking to him. You know what I mean? Because obviously he has a firearm.
Well, I don't know the whole ins and outs of the situation. I have to review the body cam, which I obviously haven't done yet, because I don't know what incident it is. Do you have the case number?
Yeah, I got the report and everything.
Right.
trying to bring up the thing, and I don't know if maybe because I'm inside the building here, I'm not getting a signal.
I'm not sure.
While he looks for that, Sergeant, I'm Finn.
Let me step
Nice to meet you.
outside.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, let me step outside while you guys talk.
Can I make a quick suggestion?
He saw the video too, Sarge.
Yes, I did. But aside from the video, any complaint that any citizen may have, there's a rack here with all kinds of forms. Well, just
Right.
2 are used. If you have a citizen complaint form in there readily available, so somebody doesn't have to go, or like, let's say, I'm kind of afraid of people with badges and stuff. Right now, you would be very intimidating to me when I want to put in a complaint against somebody else with a badge, you know?
Yeah.
If I could just run in here, grab that real quick, and then take it, you know, and do that. And I know there's avenues online where you can do it, where you don't have to come in, but hypothetical situation, let's say I'm an unhoused person, I'm a homeless person, right? And I go to the library, and I'm unlawfully trespassed from the library just because somebody doesn't like how I smell. I'm working on the only access to computers that I have there. I would still have to come in here.
Phone or something like that.
Right.
We can take reports by phone. Yeah, I understand.
It's a good idea, right?
I understand some agencies do it. I don't know, why we don't. I don't know.
Yeah, the previous Attorney General actually mandated for most agencies to do that.
They're readily available through our front office. We usually can just hand them over to you, but yeah, I can definitely get your complaint form if you know he's going to want one.
Well, yeah, he is here to file a complaint. That's what I'm saying. Like, for the next time to make it smoother, it would be easier to just like somebody to come in here and like, without being under scrutiny, write it down. He is comfortable with the situation.
Right.
I'm saying not everybody has that confidence that he does, you know?
Right.
Thanks for understanding.
No problem.
And can I ask you a question? By all means, you should know the answer to it. If you don't know the answer, would you make a good faith effort to learn it?
What's that?
What are the first?
You're on your property,
Oh, go ahead.
but your firearm is still illegal to open carry in the state, so you gotta conceal it. I'm a big firearms guy. I respect that you got it, but when you're out in the open,
In the state of Florida, you can open carry on your own property.
I get that, but it's still perception to the people. So it's still a crime if you're out in the public and they can see it. There's no expectation of privacy when you're outside. And I'm telling you that
So why is it that when we call you for something else, okay?
I'm just saying, I'm trying to protect you from if something goes on future on. There's no expectation of privacy when you're out in the open, even if you're in your front yard. Now, if you're in your backyard fence, you have expectation of privacy, you can do whatever the hell you want. But when you're out in the front yard, people can see it. I get you're still on your property, but perception is
Not
everything.
against the law to open carry on your property.
I'll double check it. I could be wrong. I could
He's
be wrong or something.
definitely wrong, but even if she levels the gun at somebody who's probably approaching her house in a way that, like, maybe a fist in the air, and like threatening her.
We can't get into,
Right, the legality of it. Right, I'm not a lawyer, and this is not legal advice. Neither are you. So
Hold on, this is a.
But if you want a complaint form, I'll definitely grab that and we'll take a look at the body cam. I'd rather see it directly from our.
Right. Well, this is a request for her, but this is the most important part at the end, like I said. When
You want to step outside? So
let's just.
Pretty sure.
Okay. So here's the line, but he's gonna get in his car here.
I still don't like that you have a fucking gun out when I'm talking to you.
it's a matter of public record there.
Yeah, no, he's just talking to himself there, but it's obviously that he was emotionally distraught over the situation.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely want to make a complaint on him.
Let me grab you the forms real quick. You can either fill them out here, or you can bring them back at any time you want. The only thing I would ask is if at the back page it's a notary spot. We can either notarize it here by an officer, or you can get it notarized by any public notary that you want. All right?
Yeah. Question. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'll probably fill it out here.
Okay.
I'm
The
just gonna
question
step
I had
outside the
was,
smoke real quick.
Under the First Amendment, there are 5 rights that are protected. Do you know what they are?
I do. It's religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition.
Excellent.
So,
You're one of 2 officers in 5 years of doing this that have seen if you get it right. So just as important as the first one is our second amendment.
Right, I got you. Let me grab that phone real quick, I'll be right back.
Thank you, brother. He got them all. He got all 5.
The statement form for the and so I'm not grabbing it. Let me grab the last page. It's for the notarization at the bottom.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Do you think you're going to need more than, I think there's 3 pages there?
No, I'm not gonna need but just one of the pages actually.
Okay.
Because basically what I'm gonna do is refer whoever's gonna investigate the complaint to just look at the body cam.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. And then I'll just, in here, I'll request that any investigation, interviews or you know, the IA report gets sent to my email after it gets done, so that way.
And I have requested a copy of the standard operating procedures or general orders in PDF format. So we'll be able to delineate exactly what policies he broke, like courtesy or whatever, you know,
So
and make a formal complaint on
it
that.
does take a little bit of time for them to get all that ready.
Right.
So I don't know if they'll have it ready for you, you know.
No, take your time, but I think you guys will be able to see where he went wrong on that.
Like I said, I don't know the incident. I'd have to review the whole body
Of
cam
course, be
context
fair.
of it, rather than just, you know, 15 seconds of the video. So, and you know, any CAD notes that go along with it. So I don't even know what the complaint was for, why he was out there, so.
I gave her my email address, rightscrispy@gmail.com.
Okay.
You can see on my channel, Rights Crispy, there are 13 points of police reform that are common sense. And I invite you to read them and see if you disagree with anything on there. And if you do, you can email me questions, comments, agreements, disagreements.
Right, okay.
Talks about fair police unions and ending broken windows policing, where you actually fight crime instead of fighting one neighborhood, you know?
Right. I don't believe that we do that here.
Good.
We pretty much answer any call that comes in for service. We try to respond within a timely manner to every incident, and we also, you know, try to do the best we can on every call that we're dispatched to. So
make an investigation independent of the complainant, because sometimes Karens, there's a Karen syndrome these days. They'll drum stuff up, and cops are using that as reasonable articulable suspicion to detain someone and break their Fourth Amendment rights.
Right.
So we can't have that either. We just watched a 64-year-old lady coming back from getting groceries. She went to go look at a place that they might be renting. She stepped on the lawn. The neighbors barked at her, said, "Get out of there." She took off right away, but they called the cops. On her way back with her groceries, these cops put her in cuffs because this lady said that she was trespassing. Even though she's not the owner of the place, nobody actually trespassed her. She left right away. She was not there unlawfully, you know? And that wasn't you guys, like I said. I'm not accusing you of broken windows policing or violating Fourth Amendment rights. Be an example, not a warning, you know? Other agencies will see this as well.
Right.
Yeah, I've come up here before for a couple of reasons. But the reason I'm here today is this lady, she has called a couple of times, and this is the way she gets treated for some reason. Now, she brought her lawyer up here in 2022 to is it the 24th? 24.
You got identification just so I can say that you signed the paperwork?
I mean, not on me. I don't usually carry it on me.
What about your press ID? Do you have any picture ID? Doesn't have to be a driver's license.
No, I don't have anything. But you guys know me. I've been up here 20 times. I'm majorly awesome.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
If you do a search on that, you'll get everything.
Is that your name? Majorly awesome?
That's my media credential. That's what I go by.
Media awesome. I thought you said majorly awesome.
No, it is majorly awesome, but it's my media credential.
Gotcha. It would be cooler if it was like media awesome.
That would be awesome. But yeah, this lady, she's had an incident where she reported a different crime. Somebody had damaged her property, and when the officer was talking with her, he went over to talk to the party that actually committed the crime that destroyed her property, and the cop was telling the criminal that he had run-ins with this lady before and that she's crazy. And she pulled the body cam, so she has all that on there. And she's come, again, like I said, to talk to the chief. She brought her lawyer, she talked with him and a couple of your captains. And they said that this kind of behavior would stop, but as you can see, this just happened last month.
Right.
You know, so we want to make sure that the citizens are being respected when they go out there for calls and stuff like that. So that's what this is about, so make sure that gets conveyed to him if you would.
That's where you put your name. So I just have to, for this morning affidavit here, it's just, I have to have some way of identification. I can walk out to your car if you'd like. It's up to you.
Here, I'll put my name and birthday on there.
Okay,
so that way you can.
You can just write right here.
Yeah. That's my name and birthday, so you'll be able to look me up like that. I got the Florida ID, plus I've been in the system in Florida for years when I was a youth.
Right.
But yeah, we just want to make sure that again, she's being able to get services and not be labeled crazy or anything like that. Because when he cleared the call on the report, and I got that too, when he cleared the call on the report, he labeled her as not being friendly. And we want to make sure that it's not going out that this lady's combative or anything. You'll see the body cam and everything, but
That'd get somebody shot. Even if it's like in another agency and they're pursuing her, they see that on the CAD, and it's dangerous to mislabel someone, a citizen that didn't do anything wrong.
Right, but we're not just going out there shooting people that are labeled
No,
bad.
again, I'm saying that's why I threw in the other agency in a hypothetical.
I'm hoping other agencies don't go out and, just shoot people that are labeled bad.
yeah,
We see that
it said right there she wasn't happy. And again, she wasn't happy because the guy was sitting there telling her that she's not allowed to carry a gun in her
But that's the CAD notes, it doesn't label her as.
Okay, well, the reason we were wondering that is because, again, every
The
time.
label would be under her names file, not in the CAD notes.
Okay, and we're wondering if there is like notes on her or her address, because again, like the cop told the lady that he had run-ins with her and she was crazy, but she pulled her interaction. She never had an interaction with his
What
officer.
cop was that today? This one?
No, it was a different one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be releasing a video with the body cam here in the next week or two, and I'll include other information on that, on some of the other incidents. Obviously, she has a stalker, so we're keeping her information as private as possible.
Right.
That way they don't find out, but we still want to address these issues that she's having. You know what I mean? So, and again, I think one of her stalkers thanks law enforcement, so it makes it even harder.
Gotcha.
You know, so
a bad apple.
yeah.
Okay, and done some, I'll get you off if you get me off type of thing, and still kept his job.
Yeah.
Not here.
No. No.
Any other questions for me?
No, we're good.
Where'd you, besides civics class in high school, where'd you refresh your memory on the First Amendment, or have you always just kept it in mind?
So we have First Amendment training and stuff like that here at this police department. So we also do legal training, and this might be a good topic to be brought up in our next legal training, whatever the case may be. So we try to go a little bit above and beyond our training here with First Amendment auditors and legal training and stuff like that. Although it's not required every year, we still try to complete
Brush up on
certain because everything changes in the legal area from year to year.
all the time.
From month to month. Sometimes we go over case law and stuff like that. So anything that's hot topic, we try to at least hit that and hit a couple of refreshers when it comes to legal. So
honestly, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm glad that you guys are, cleaning up your ranks now, man.
Right.
And taking that training and taking that extra time just to, hey, this is the most important part of our job. Maybe we should know this part. You know? So thank you.
So we like I said, we're required to do 24 hours of training a year, but we always step that up to at least an extra 12 hours a year. So instead of the required 24, we do 36 on this year. I think it's even more than that.
In the Marine Corps, they say the most important 6 inches on the battlefield is between your ears.
Right.
You got to keep that in mind out here too.
Right.
Stay frosty and know what's gonna get somebody, a bad guy, put away, and know what's gonna maybe cost the citizens taxpayer dollars in the lawsuits if you got messed up.
But if you don't have any more questions, I'm gonna run in here and get ready for our hurricane coming up. That's what we're trying to do now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. You too.
And continue on in your role. Thank you. Thank you, Miss.
You keep lying when you ought to be truthing, and you keep losing when you ought to not bet. You